So I'm currently on the couch. I was crying a moment ago because I'm watching interviews of celebrities, and I know generally everyone goes through shit. Like, if you think someone's have had a perfect life, they had it. Everyone goes through shit. We all have trauma. We all have traumatic experiences. And though my ultimate goal is to be someone of high status, someone that inspires others and like does all this and that in the media and all that. That was not a good way to phrase it. But even though that's my ultimate goal, like my long-term goal, seeing and listening to people, celebrities specifically, talk about the struggles that they've had to endure, and then also having to endure that in front of the entire world. Like, I actually almost had the opportunity to be someone, like, that sounds silly, but like, I remember going to an audition when I was little, and I was too nervous to actually like perform, and so I didn't get the commercial. And I'm kind of thankful I didn't, because I don't know how my life would look. I might be dead, honestly, because I have issues that I'm still working through, and imagining having to go through that on a like global scale, or even just in front of a small audience, and I can't imagine it. Like, my heart goes out. Like, currently I paused it, but I was listening to a compilation of Ariana Grande interviews, and it's so sad. Like, aside from anything else, she displays such Cancer energy. Like, she talks about wanting to just love and hug everyone and just wanting to be everyone's friend, and that's so Cancer. Like, that's just so, like, Cancer is such a loving energy, and I've always loved her, like, from Nickelodeon. Maybe it's because my Venus is in Cancer, I don't know, but I look up to her. Like, what she does with her platform, what she does with her voice is just inspiring. And it really sucks that these people have to go through the things that they go through. Also, can I just fix this? Because this is not okay. But it really sucks that they have to go through this, and then they have to go through this in front of, like, the whole world, essentially. It's wild. And the fact that so little people actually care, and so little people actually pay attention or, like, give a fuck. Like, I know that was really redundant. I literally just said that. But I feel like the cursing had to, like, it was used to amplify my feelings toward that. It's just insane. Like, it's insane. It's literally insane. And I don't want, like, I still want to do what I want to do. Like, even listening to their stories and, like, feeling affected the way that I do emotionally by hearing them, I still want to, like, be able to contribute something to, like, the global population, and, like, be able to share my art with the world. I mean, I say my art as if I've made, like, albums already, but, like, I do want to at some point make music that makes people feel good. And, like, I don't know. The world can be a really scary place. And, like, previously, like, I started this because I've been doing this on and off. I've been watching celebrities, interviews and whatnot, but I started a couple hours ago, I don't know, with Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, and I didn't know all the shit that they went through. I did not know that. Like, I'm not, like, a huge Olsen stan, but I did not know that they had to go what is this accent? I didn't know that they had to go through all of the shit that they went through growing up. And, like, on one side of the coin, it's like, yeah, they've had an amazing life. They got to do all this shit. They have money. They're, like, financially secure. They don't have to worry about going broke, or, well, I mean, you could always go broke, but, like, they don't have to worry about that. And that's amazing on one side of the coin, but then to have to go through all that mental and emotional, like, in my last video, I talked about briefly how people like to kind of look at emotional support as, like, this not really important thing, but it's so important. Like, you can give somebody all the money in the fucking world, you can make them physically secure, but if they're feeling like shit inside of their mind, like, the mind is so important, and I don't think people acknowledge that enough. Having been a person who went through psychosis twice, I understand so bad, so much, just how fragile reality can be, just how much the brain affects reality, and it's insane to think that people just overlook mental and emotional states. Like, you see somebody has a bunch of money and you're like, oh, well, you know, they're free range to just make fun of. Like, it doesn't matter, like, who the fuck. But that's a person. That's a person. And, like, I feel like you could look at that at the surface and be like, okay, what does that mean? Why should I care? But it's like the one way that I like to look at, you know, humanity and, like, empathy is, like, I wouldn't want somebody doing something to me. I wouldn't want somebody treating me a certain way, so I do not go around treating other people like that. Not even thinking about, like, the karma aspect and, like, how, you know, what you put out is what you get. But just generally, like, if I wouldn't want somebody talking to me a certain way, I'm not going to talk to them a certain way, which is why it's so difficult for me to do boundaries and, like, set boundaries, because it's, like, it feels rude. And I know that's, like, childhood shit, but, like, it feels so rude, and it's not. Like, setting boundaries and being firm in, like, your being is not rude. It's not mean. It's not any of those things. It's necessary. Like, you need to do that, like, to protect yourself, especially when you're on, like, a platform like these people, like Ariana Grande, Mary-Kate and Ashley. Like, you have to an extent. Like, I didn't know that they were, like, so crazy about social media. Not crazy, but I didn't know that they were so, like, in it about social media, and, like, they didn't, like, I think it was Mary-Kate. One of them got married recently, and they took everyone's phone, and, like, it was a completely private event. And I can't even imagine what it would take for me, personally, to get to a place of that. Like, I've never been bullied online. Like, I've had people, like, you know, throw shit at me for, like, my beliefs and shit. But, oh, God. Oh, my gosh. I don't have COVID. I don't think I do. I just got my, vaccine, the Janssen vaccine in this arm, but I digress. Like, I can't imagine what it would take for me to get there mentally, to, like, want to shut the world out and, like, not interact with people, you know? Like, I can't imagine that for me, but, like, for them to have built their entire careers on, like, fame, and, like, they were in an interview, I don't remember who it was in an interview with, but they were talking about how they don't even really look at it as fame, because they've just been doing it since, like, literally since they were 9 months old. Literally 9 months old. They were on film. They were doing things. And that's insane. And it's wild to me how much people can, quote unquote, care about celebrities, but at the same time not give a flying fuck. Because if you actually cared, you wouldn't say the things that you said. Like, Little Kim is an example that comes to mind. Like, someone who is just iconic. She's contributed so much to pop culture, it's not even fun. It's like, give the girl her credit. And she does get her credit, but at the same time, she gets a whole lot of shit for, like, her appearance. And that's, like, a whole misogyny discussion. That's a whole women thing. But she gets shit for the way that she chose to, like, respond or react to criticisms, because I think people were saying that she, like, was too dark or something. I don't know what exactly. Like, I'm not a Lil Kim stan. I'm not deep into rap, to be honest, but she is iconic and I cannot deny that. But the way that people, like, bullied her into, like, changing her look, and then bullied her for how she turned out, like, it's insane. And I'm so thankful. Like, I have a tiny platform right now. I have people who, like, probably visit my page here and there. People who, like, see the content that I make and are moved by it or whatever. Look, I have people commenting on my shit, and it's really nice. It feels really good. And thankfully, I have not had people bully me. I had one comment, and it wasn't really bullying. It was one comment. It made me more confused than anything, because I'm like, why did you take the energy to reply this? But because I don't always enunciate properly, and in the beginning of the video, mind you, I was talking about something relatively important, so, like, that kind of also irritated me. But I was talking about something that was really redundant. But no, I didn't enunciate properly, and this person, I think they were a child, I don't know, like, at least very young, and they took the energy to comment their confusion. They were like, he said what? And I didn't respond to it. I wanted to respond to it, but also I knew that wasn't really the best reaction. So I just kind of ignored it. Other people commented on the video and said, you know, helpful things, and I responded to those, but I was just like, And then that's also something that I think about, like, about my own brand and, like, other people like not like a comparison, but like the notion of like responding to comments and responding to criticism, like, because they don't always, celebrities don't always respond, but you know, 9 times out of 10, they've seen a handful of the things that people say about them, and it's insane. Like someone with Beyonce's level of stature, like imagining having that level of like notoriety and not looking at that. Like I would be so tempted to look. Like and that's just like the vanity in me. I am quick to admit that. Like part of the reason why I want to be quote unquote famous is so that people like will look up to me and like see me for how I you know I want to see me. Well, maybe I'm speaking too quickly. But like yeah, you could also attribute it to like, you know, childhood shit, you know, Anna Nicole Smith, Marilyn Monroe, like wanting to find that love and validation in the external world when you didn't get it as a child or whatever, or from your family. Like that's kind of partially my mindset when it comes to this. But this is also a kind of uncomfortable position. I don't know if I'm going to try to record more. I'm pretty sure I'm really good on storage space. Apple, we have beef. If you have any issue with me, iMovie, if you have any issue with me editing this, I swear to God, I don't know what I will do, but I will be upset. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you got this far, I really appreciate, like, if you are a person who continuously supports me, I appreciate you so fucking much. And if you're just watching for the first time and you decided to watch all the way through, I also appreciate you. And you should definitely consider subscribing, liking the video, sharing if you want, and yeah.